to worship. On the eve of the feast of St Andrew, we gather to thank God for the bicentennial gift from Scotland of this cairn, and to honour the memory of Duncan Matheson, the builder of the cairn, who also built a place in our hearts.
We've come here today to this beautiful setting to honour the man who came all the way from Scotland to construct Scotland's bicentennial gift to Australia. A cairn incorporated a stone from each of the 1760 parishes in Scotland. There was a deal of competition as to which city or town would be lucky enough to be honoured with the cairn, and we in Mosman are all quite delighted that we were so fortunate as to beat off the competition. Duncan Matheson was born into a Gaelic-speaking family in Kintail in the depths of the Highlands of Scotland. His home was the family croft, or small farm, lying in a beautiful valley a long way from anywhere, and to which electricity only came in the late 1960s. It must have been a very happy home for Duncan, as he lived in it for most of his life and died in the same house just a few weeks ago in his early 80s. Learning English once he went to school, and leaving that same school when he was only 14 years of age, Duncan went to sea in 1944 and became the youngest boatswain in the Merchant Navy. Some 8 years later, after the death of his father, he left the sea to take over the running of the family croft. Duncan was obviously a very talented man. Firstly, he renovated and rethatched the barn opposite his home, and that ability stayed with him till, much later in life, he and his sons rethatched some of the very well-known Scottish homes, including that of Rabbie Burns, Scotland's most famous poet. Duncan starred in documentary films, made numerous recordings for the School of Scottish Studies, and contributed articles to the Gaelic Society of Inverness. He even carved walking sticks for presentation to Prince Charles and Lady Diana from the people of Ross-shire on the occasion of that famous marriage. How very appropriate that the Mayor of the day here in Mosman also has a cromach made by Duncan Matheson. Some of you might remember the television programme Hamish Macbeth. Well, Duncan's house was used as the Macrae house in that series. Duncan's knowledge of the local area was such that people came from around the world to enlist his help in tracing their Kintail ancestors. A major accolade was an invitation to attend a symposium on folklore at the prestigious Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. Despite this being an all-expenses-paid trip with a choice of topic entirely his own, Duncan declined the invitation, preferring to remain at home in his beloved Glen. I have to add that there is an amusing side to Duncan's life. It was probably his prowess as a poacher which brought him local renown, only in a very small way, of course. Beyond any doubt, Duncan was an extraordinary man, intelligent, skillful, creative, knowledgeable, resourceful, sociable, witty and generous. We certainly missed him in Mosman when he went home once the cairn was completed, and we trust he is now in good hands. Duncan, you leave a lasting legacy here in Mosman that will endure for centuries. On this sad occasion, may we offer our condolences to Mary, Duncan's wife of 50 years, to his children John, Elias, Teresa, Jeannie, Kenna and Duncan and their partners, to his 11 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild, and to his siblings Lachlan, Farquhar, Charlie and Chrissy. Vale, Duncan Matheson.
I had the great privilege of being one of the co-consecrators and blessers of this when it was opened, and I really was so proud of it, and proud of my own Scottish heritage, that about a month later I came up just to have a little look again and a bit of reflection, and I was delighted to tell you that what I saw here, there was a whole group of young families, mostly the mothers, a couple of fathers too, but mostly mothers, and they had children from the breast to toddlers, and they were just enjoying a wonderful picnic around here, and they went up and you could see the fathers and mothers explaining to the children, you know, what what this was all about. I hope they understood it, but that doesn't matter. The point is that it had become a central point of community for which we thank God. And so tonight we do thank God for that, and we thank God for the talent of Duncan Matheson, who gave us such a beautiful memorial.
To Duncan.
Duncan.
When I picked up the glass.